Carolina, everything the Gamecocks wanted on Thursday just came up short.
Well, let me tell you, the fans got everything they could have wanted out of that game, that's for sure. But every time LSU has lost this season, they bounce back. After Colorado lost, after Auburn, I expect the same thing after that loss to South Carolina.
And you know LSU all season has had a target on its back after they won their first national championship last season, and they had to rebuild some of this roster. Now, they had some key returners in Angel Reese and Flau'jae Johnson, but then they went to the portal.
They got two of the top transfers and one of the top freshmen in the country to really fill in the gap of what they were missing. But I think the biggest impact, that was Anissa Morrow. Anissa Morrow against South Carolina, she had 16 and 10. She has 13 double-doubles on the season. She does her work on the glass, but she's also got extended range, so she can open up the floor for Angel Reese.
She has more double-doubles than Angel Reese. That's kind of surprising.
That is, but she was putting in work against DePaul before she transferred.
Absolutely. Now, we know it's going to be physical. Mississippi State can match up inside with LSU, and it starts with Jessica Carter.
And she has been on a tear over the last 4 games. She's averaged over 19 points and 11 rebounds a game. How will she handle the physicality of LSU inside and protect her home court?
Jessica Carter in her 6th season. All 6 years have been here at Mississippi State. It's a wide out inside the hump. They're expecting a sellout tonight. Seems to be the trend when LSU goes on the road. They draw a big crowd. And they're ready to go inside the hump. Angel Reese and Jessica Carter to jump. And LSU controls it. They go immediately inside to Angel Reese. And there's the battle we're talking about. Angel Reese and Jessica Carter down low.
I'm looking for the battle of who can own the paint. Both teams talked about being intentional of getting the ball inside.
Haley Van Lith to inbound for LSU, inside to Michaela Williams. Second touch for Angel Reese.
Yeah, 2 in a row, and then the 2-man game. I like it between these two, but terrific defense by Jacayla Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan takes it away. Does not have numbers, does not matter. Now, Kim Mulkey said these games so important after a big game. How does your team respond, especially having to go on the road?
Well, because the energy that was in Baton Rouge, the emotion that went into that game, you have to be concerned on how your team is going to come on the road in this hostile environment.
Flau'jae Johnson through traffic, weaving, banks it in. For Mississippi State, Sam Purcell told his 5 starters, told his whole team, let's go out there and have fun. Take the pressure off. There's no pressure on us. Go play hard and have fun.
Well, he knows that if he puts too much pressure on them, they can play tight. And that's the thing they can't do, is turn over the basketball, because LSU is going to take full advantage.
Anissa Morrow with the bucket. Jacayla Jordan on the baseline for Mississippi State.
I'm interested to see if Mississippi State does what Auburn did, take the air out of the basketball, be very patient and deliberate on the offensive end.
Auburn was the first SEC team to beat LSU this year, just the 2nd team overall to beat the LSU Tigers.
The thing you've got to know is that you've got to take care of the basketball and then get good shots.
They got to hurry, though. 2 seconds. Stolen away by LSU. Angel Reese. One hand up and in. That was with her right hand.
Let me tell you, Angel Reese can score with either left or right, and at times when she shoots it, I'm not real sure which one's the main hand.
Sometimes it's both.
But if it goes in, it does not matter.
It does not matter. Jordan short, and the rebound back to Reese. LSU took Friday off after that game over South Carolina Thursday, and then went to work this weekend, and that's going to be an offensive foul against Angel Reese, lowering her shoulder.
Now, it's an unnecessary foul. I think Angel Reese has got to be more disciplined because of the value she has to have on the floor. Really, there wasn't really anything there. And so that's not an opportunity where you want to be aggressive, but she's got to be smart and not pick up an unnecessary foul.
Haley Van Lith with the steal and the score. You mentioned foul trouble for Angel Reese. Would you call that one in the fourth quarter an unnecessary foul that fouled her out of the game against South Carolina?
That fifth foul was the one that was definitely unnecessary. And then I think Haley Van Lith threw a pass inside offensively. You cannot throw a pass to Angel Reese and have that short where she has to come over the back. But looking at Mississippi State's offense, their turnovers have been across the top. They can't do that.
Kim Mulkey bringing that first national championship back to her home state for this LSU program. She has won 4 national titles. They started 16-1. Since then, they've gone 2-2.
I think that experience on their home court, the loss to South Carolina, but helped them to understand situations. Oh, that's a big finish by Aaron Barnum. And Barnum keeping pressure on LSU and attacking the basket. But going back to LSU's experience in South Carolina, you want to have those tight games. And sometimes when you win those games, you don't really learn what you need to improve on. And it's not until the losses that really catches the attention of players. And the biggest thing that I saw from that was, number one, discipline and not getting into foul trouble. And the second thing, situations and handling when teams make their run.
Flau'jae Johnson passes over to Anissa Morrow, waiting in the paint, and it misses. Rebound by Jessica Carter.
Now, Sam Purcell said he was going to try to get the ball into the paint, challenge some of that potential foul issue.
Kayla Jordan forced out, and they're running out of time. 5 seconds, swatted away by Flau'jae Johnson. It's got to go up for State. Aaron Barnum, no panic.
Mississippi State they don't look scared or intimidated. They're going straight at LSU.
Flau'jae Johnson for 3, a bit much. And Barnum with the board. Miracle Shepherd back the other way.
But still, not a touch, not a significant touch for Jessica Carter inside.
Carter has not attempted a shot so far. I know we're still early on in this game. Oh, wide open. Just straight to the basket for Miracle Shepherd, the freshman out of Washington. Miracle Shepherd, the first high school signee for Sam Purcell here at Mississippi State. Angel Reese's double team can't finish, and Kayla Jordan tiptoeing on that baseline.
Let's see if Mississippi State continues to put Angel Reese in ball screens.
It's a 6-0 run for the Bulldogs. Kayla Jordan for 3! Shepherd to Kayla Jordan. Turnovers leading to offense for Mississippi State. That was a key for Sam Purcell.
And the freshman, Miracle Shepherd, does exactly that. She turns up the heat defensively for Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Angel Reese from range. 11-0 run for State.
The confidence building for the home team.
Shepherd the drive and the kick, but onto the fingertips of Anissa Morrow. LSU has not scored in 3 minutes. Flau'jae, great decision, giving it up to Angel Reese.
Big foe. Flau'jae Johnson has really built her confidence from last season. And she talked about, listen, played in a national championship. A hostile environment on the road does not affect her.
Shepherd, the kick out to Darian Rogers. Bang!
And a little kiss to the crowd.
Mississippi State playing free. Anissa Morrow. Too much on the three, and that's going to be Mississippi State ball. Mississippi State up 6. When we come back, we take a look back at one of the biggest games all season. South Carolina, LSU. That's next.
Everyone say Space Pod.
Meanwhile, at a Verbo, when other vacation rentals are just for likes, try one you'll actually like.
Looking like a snack. A potatoey, cheesy, bacony snack. The new smashed potato bowl is just $3.49. Only at KFC.
Hey, can I get a Virginia?
A what?
Monacan?
Heine.
Hi, can please?
Me?
Ouais. How do you spell it?
Anakin.
The green one?
Hackman?
Yes.
Want to know how I get this glow? I get ready with new Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash. It smells amazing and gives my skin over-the-top moisture. From dull to visibly glowing in 14 days.
The model has silky skin.
See the difference with Olay.
P&G.
Upgrade to Music Jams Premium to get uninterrupted listening on all your favorite tunes. Click here to start your 7-day free trial.
If it's important, it's not worth compromising. Which is why with Farmers, you don't have to compromise quality to get great savings on your insurance. I got this.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
It's Saturday prime time at the Garden.
LeBron is the face of the NBA.
Jalen Brunson is a top 20 player in the league.
It's Saturday primetime. Lakers, Knicks on ABC, home of the NBA Finals.
She got it! LSU is taking the lead back. Reese playing with those 4 fouls. Here comes Johnson. It's number 5 on Reese.
When you don't have your All-American on the floor, it takes you out of your rhythm.
In the corner, Hall. You bet! Gamecocks remain undefeated.
That was a good basketball game. Crowd was outstanding. When you don't have Angel Reese, we did about as good as we could.
It was one of the most fun games to watch all season. Peck, you were there. What was the environment like?
Oh, the energy, even before the game got started, the fans had already started to gather. And then that was a terrific game. It was back and forth. LSU was in control early. Then South Carolina made their run. It was a heavyweight battle in the third. But then when Angel Reese got her foul in the fourth quarter, that's when South Carolina was able to pull off the win.
Leah Del Rosario going up for LSU. Yeah, Angel Reese missed the last 4 minutes of that game as she fouled out. And this is, remember, LSU led by as many as 11. With Reese, 7-2 in the fourth quarter. Without Reese, 7-22.
That's just lets you know what an impact she has on this team for LSU. And a lot of times you don't have to run plays for her, but her effort getting on the glass, defensively, the physicality, the attitude she brings to the floor.
Del Rosario gets the road bounce.
And in that game in Baton Rouge, it was Del Rosario that came in. She gave good minutes when Anissa Morrow or Angel Reese got into foul trouble.
Quinera Montague with the miss. That was the first miss in 6 attempts for Mississippi State. They did have a 16-2 run. What's State been doing early on in this one to keep the lead?
They're being very patient. Not doubt time. For the most part, though, offensively, they have been patient.
Rogers trying again. It rolls out. What do you want to see differently from LSU offensively?
LSU off-ball screen, specifically with Flau'jae Johnson. Get the big girl involved and attack and movement. LSU got stagnant at Auburn. They really got stunned. They were surprised, and Auburn took the air out of the ball, and so it made LSU very lethargic. They've got to dictate the tempo of this game.
Again, Auburn was the first SEC team to beat LSU. That was just a few weeks ago in Auburn.
Mississippi State has changed up their defense, gone to a zone.
Haley Van Lith with the miss, and Jordan comes down with it and then throws it away. Last tier, Poa pulling up at the elbow, switch.
That's a good sign for Poa. She looked a little rattled against South Carolina when she went in the game. Much better composure here tonight in Starkville.
She's got an impressive resume. Won a national championship on the JUCO level, and then last year won a national championship on the D1 level.
And her major impact has been on the defensive end. She's taken 28 charges so far this season.
How many did you take in your career?
I only charged with a credit card.
Yep. First foul on Aaliyah Del Rosario, her first. Now you mentioned Sam Purcell. He told us about, or you mentioned his defenses. He told us he was going to change up defenses and keep LSU guessing throughout this game.
Well, and he told us kind of a little strategy with his zone. There's going to be a certain area of the floor that he's going to give LSU the shots. He's really going to focus on taking away the paint. And then his guards at the top have to cover a lot of area.
Anissa Morrow, that's the second three-point attempt that she's taken. Only shoots 22% from behind the arc. And a travel on Carter.
Yeah, Kim Mulkey wants the ball to go inside. Morrow took that shot. Mulkey turned right around, looked for Angel Reese. She wants to get the ball in the paint.
Angel Reese does check back in for Morrow. Kim Mulkey told us today they looked at film. They had a great film session after South Carolina. Looked at the little details. She said, I told them we're not tough enough yet. Look at all these little things. We've got to do better and be tough.
But she was very positive with her team, too. Yes. She was pleased with a lot of what they did in that ball game. They're just small tweaks, areas of improvement that they need to kind of shore up. But for the most part, she liked the effort. And, I mean, foul trouble did play a big part in that game.
Van Lith in trouble, gets it over to Michaela Williams. Poa sees an opening. Del Rosario there for the rebound. Angel Reese with a second, with a third offensive rebound. And a foul on the floor. That's on Jessica Carter.
I thought Mississippi State was going to escape without a foul because Jessica Carter was in there and she was trying to be disciplined straight up. But after that second, third offensive rebound, you get a little greedy, and that's where you get that foul called, where you've just got to turn and box out.
That's the first on Carter. Into Del Rosario. Spins right into Carter, and she's going to pick up her second just like that.
Now that's big for Mississippi State. If that's two on Carter. Now there's a principle of verticality, and I thought Carter kept her arm straight up. Oh, I didn't see it. I didn't see a foul. I thought she was straight up on that. If anything, and it was all ball.
Yeah. Well, that's huge for Mississippi State. Already 2 fouls for her. Del Rosario at the free throw line gets the first. We'll have a top 15 Big 12 women's basketball matchup Thursday night on ESPN, and the App. Number 10 Texas taking on number 13 Baylor in Waco. Coverage begins at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central.
Baylor just announced February 18th they're going to retire Brittany Griner's jersey.
How cool will that be?
Yeah.
26 seconds left here in the first quarter. Mississippi State has been in control most of this quarter. But they have not had a field goal in the last 2+ minutes. And Lauren Park Lane traveled. So 5.9 for LSU to do something.
Now I would go ball screen action.
Mississippi State going to show some pressure.
Now you remember the end of the Auburn game, Kim Mulkey put that ball in the hands of Angel Reese. Now Reese going down at the opposite end. That's enough time to dribble and get the ball into number 10 in purple.
They throw it all the way down the court. Flau'jae Johnson over to Anissa Morrow, executed perfectly. What a first quarter. Mississippi State, though, up by 2 points on LSU. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Expedia, made to travel. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Here from Starkville, Mississippi State up 2. But we're going to go back to that last play for LSU. Something they learned from one of their losses?
Yeah, and in a quarter against Auburn. Now a full court offense to be able to break the press. And you're going to see Angel Reese, when she gets it in the middle, it's going to be Anissa Morrow that sneaks down to the lane. And Flau'jae Johnson knows as she's cutting down the floor that Morrow is going to be there by herself. This is an improvement. This is growth from LSU. And I think that all that came from their loss earlier in the season against Auburn.
And now they find themselves down by 2. Mississippi State had a streak where they hit 6 straight shots and went on a 16-2 run in that first quarter.
Just trying to find a consistency for LSU offensively. And then for Mississippi State, taking care of the basketball. And in the second half of that first quarter, State started quick shooting the basketball. They've got to be more patient. When they're patient offensively, good things happen.
Kayla Jordan trying to create some space, going with the mid-range. Rebound by Anissa Morrow. She'll get it over to Haley Van Lith. And there is a foul underneath. That's going to be on Quinera Montague, her first. Remember, Jessica Carter from Mississippi State has 2 fouls, picked them up back-to-back right at the end of the first quarter. So she's on the bench for State.
State in a 2-3 zone. Gonna see empty area at the top. If there are any openings there.
Van Lith will take it back 10 seconds. Michaela Williams, the step back.
That's who needs to get going for LSU. That's the first bucket for Michaela Williams.
She had 12 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, and just 1 turnover against South Carolina. How did you think she handled that environment as a freshman?
I thought she did pretty well. Her 3-point shot didn't fall, but at times when LSU was struggling to get in their offense and all, she took over at that point position. She's got a great high basketball IQ. You see her there, rejecting, going to the middle, going to the baseline. She's got one of the sweetest mid-range shots in the SEC.
Mississippi State's got some foul trouble in their posts. Montague with her second now, so she has 2. Jessica Carter has 2.
Yeah, Haley Van Lith adjusting to that point guard spot. That's why she came to LSU. But when a team changes up their defense the way LSU does, that's tough on a player that doesn't have that that experience at the point guard spot.
Van Lith playing her old assistant coach. Sam Purcell, who's Mississippi State's head coach, was an assistant and recruited Van Lith to Louisville. He said there may be some trash talking between the two of them. They have a great relationship.
Yeah, he said he would be all in love.
Debrisha Poe with the miss, and Jerkayla Jordan threw it out off of LSU, so State will keep it.
The hustle, the second effort, it's what you got to do if you want to protect home court.
Into Jordan. Rebound by Van Lith.
Angel wants it. She's posting hard.
Give it to her. Monteuse got 2 fouls. And she just got whistled for her third.
That's big for Mississippi State because Jessica Carter already has 2, now 3 on their reserve. Montague, the other player with size.
Nayunga Goni is at the table waiting to check in.
When you're guarding Angel Reese, you cannot get your body against her. You've got to constantly move. As she reposts, you've got to stay active because if you don't, she's going to find a way to get herself to the free throw line. She makes about 6.8 free throws a game.
And she's first in the nation in that category. LSU as a team takes more free throws than any team in the nation.
It's because of a player named Angel Reese.
I've heard of her. Rogers for 2. Ooh, all right. Dariana Rogers, she had a triple-double earlier in the season. She can do it all.
If she's a flat-out scorer, I mean, that shot, she was not on balance whatsoever and was able to knock that down.
She started at DePaul facing an old teammate in Anissa Morrow, who started at DePaul too, now playing for LSU.
Watch Rogers. Little ball handle, stuck back between the legs over Michaela Williams. Nothing but the bottom of the net. And then Flau'jae Johnson on the drive. Saw a little smile coming from Flau'jae. When that happens, she turns her game up to another level.
Watch out. You know, Flau'jae came to LSU with that scoring mentality. She was honest today when we talked to her. She said, look, I didn't really think of myself as a defensive player because I didn't really play defense in high school.
Hey, that's just being honest.
I appreciated that.
There are very few that really have a focus on the defensive side of the ball coming out of high school.
But she's added that to her game. That one rolls out for Jordan.
If you're going to play for Kim Mulkey, you're going to have to play somebody's defense.
That's right.
Goni being available now for Mississippi State allows a third player with size. I told you that smile came from Big Foe.
Big Foe with the 3.
They're switching the screens.
Goni with the bucket, missed 10 games with an injury, returned January 22nd. She's having to play right now because Mississippi State's post player's in foul trouble.
Flau'jae has gotten in her bag.
Pulling out some tricks.
And hitting her favorite target in Angel Reese.
LSU back on top here in the second quarter. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Well, coming up at halftime, Andrea Carter and Rebecca Lobo here with you in the studio, just hanging out with a Hall of Famer. We'll be over at the touchscreen, going to talk some Final Four contenders in terms of what have you done for me lately? What has LSU done for you lately in this game?
What they've done in this first half so far is get into the paint. 20 of their 30 points have come in the paint. Nice dribble penetration and kick, getting to the offensive glass. It's hard to guard them in there.
Trying to bounce back after dropping that game to South Carolina. Courtney, Carolyn, back out to you.
Hey, great minds think alike, ladies. I'm thinking the same thing. When you look at the statistics, points in the paint, that's a focus of any team when you play LSU, is you want to keep the ball out of the paint. And already in the first half, LSU has reached that 20-point mark.
They averaged 45 paint points a game.
Yeah.
Jessica Carter back out on the floor for Mississippi State with 2 fouls.
That's risky. She's going to have to play smart.
And there's a turnover. Turnover number 9 by State.
The handles of Angel Reese, people don't realize she was one of the top wings in the country coming out of high school. She just has played more of a post game once she came to college.
It's not a bad skill set to have. Haley Van Lith driving. Reese is there for the rebound, but has it stripped by Miracle Shepherd. And Debrisha Poe will bring it up the floor for Mississippi State. Mississippi State had more success in the first quarter when they went deeper into the shot clock, being patient. They get a fresh 20. Thanks to the O board from Shepherd.
Yeah, for the most part, and really 0 for 1 when they went 21 seconds. After that, higher percentage when they shoot the ball.
Got to shoot it. Lauren Park late in the corner, no, and another offensive board. Poe stepping into it. Debrisha Poe. She's their leading three-point shooter. And Anissa Mora finishing through contact. Aaron Barnum whistled.
That was just a breakdown. Mississippi State, not all 5 players weren't all on the same page, and they were trying to recover, get that back line of the zone. Aaron Barnum's late, and Anissa Morrow makes her pay.
Anissa Morrow talking after that South Carolina loss. You know, she dealt with some foul trouble too, and she talked about how she was disappointed in herself after that game, but she could feel the group coming together and learning. And there's a lot of personalities on this LSU team, but now they're starting to fit in with each other.
Well, when we talked to Haley Van Lith, it's like, how do these big personalities, how do you all get along? And she said that, you know, they will get after each other, but they know it's because of how competitive they are, not that it's personal. So you got to get out of your feelings.
Yeah, you're understanding. They are understanding the reason why now.
When LSU only has 2 starters returning from that national championship team, you got to learn that real quick.
Astir Poa getting all she can handle from Miracle Shepherd.
She has had the ball a long time.
Angel Reese trying to pump her up.
I think a horn set would be a good opportunity to get a touch for Jessica Carter.
Why do you like that here?
Because it's an isolation. That's a wide open lane for Barnum. Look, now Angel Reese and Jessica Carter going at each other. Carter's got to be smart because she's got 2 fouls.
And Angel gets wide open, tacks on 2 more. Reese with 10 points, 7 rebounds. Shepherd under the basket. 4 points for Miracle Shepherd.
That's a freshman that has made an impact from the time she's had on the floor defensively, and she's keeping the pressure with the drive, attacking the rim.
4 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. As Flau'jae Johnson going into the hoop.
Flau'jae's in her bag. I told her after she hit that first shot and she had that little smile, it's like, oh, she's going to pick it up a little bit.
There it is. Largest lead for LSU. Shepard for two. Miracle Shepard might have a bag she's been carrying.
She got her little clutch purse maybe, but she's getting a little bit.
That's going to be a foul on last tier Poa. Miracle Shepard with the aggression defensively to get the steal and then draw the foul.
Well, Shepard, since she's been on the floor, she's 3 for 4. She got 4 assists. She's wreaked havoc on the defensive end. She knows the assignment.
Well, Sam Purcell told us Miracle Shepard, she's got a strong mental game, and that's something that's not always the case for freshmen, something maybe they develop over time. She can to start though with it.
Oh, yeah. She's answered the call, and she and Sam Purcell, they got a special connection. She was the first commit to Sam Purcell when he got the job.
Yeah, first high school signee. Michaela Williams lost it. Picks up her first foul.
Shepard puts Van Lift on skates, goes right by her, and gets the easy deuce.
So Shepard will head over. It looked like she had a cut on her lip, so the training staff is going to take a look at her on the Mississippi State bench as Lauren Park Lane checks in to replace her.
Well, you got to fix that real quick as well as Shepard's playing.
Yeah, she's had the last 6 points for State. Aaron Barnum, she's had a couple of chances right under the basket and can't finish.
You get an opportunity against LSU, you got to finish those layups.
Meanwhile, the Tigers hit their last 3 shots. Lauren Park Lane in the lane.
That's a 4-point swing. Angel Reese took an ill-advised shot and gave Mississippi State an easy 2.
And Faja Johnson stepped out of bounds, State forcing another turnover.
Now, Flaje Johnson told us that in that game against South Carolina, said, what'd you learn? One of the things was the need to execute in crucial times. This is one of those times they need to execute.
Jessica Carter, 2 looks, neither of them drop.
Close out the half. This is where you want to get that for sure basket.
LSU hasn't scored in over 2 minutes. It's a 6-0 run for Mississippi State. Morrow, the kick to the corner. Flage waiting too much.
Mississippi State could go 2 for 1.
Seven seconds. Park Lane coughs it up.
She's had a hard time really getting into the offense. Lauren Park Lane.
10 turnovers for Mississippi State. LSU scored 16 points off those turnovers.
LSU want to go 1-4 flat. Jessica Carter's got to be careful.
She's got 2 fouls. Anissa Morrow, top of the key for the 3. And at the end of each quarter, LSU is able to get points when the clock is ticking. Angel Reese a rebound away from a double-double. Jerkayla Jordan leading Mississippi State with 9 points. And at the half, LSU up by 5. Back to the studio with Drea and Rebecca.
Thank you so much, Courtney. You heard her, Andrea Carter, the Hall of Famer, Rebecca Lobo, here in the studio with you. And Rebecca, we got to talk this game. LSU with the 5-point lead. Anissa Morrow and Angel Reese are known for dominating the paint, but there's someone else that's been impressing you so far.
How about how Flau'jae Johnson played in the first half, in particular on the offensive end? We saw her play lockdown defense in the South Carolina game. Well, in this game, on the offensive end, she has been outstanding. Dribble penetration, here, crossover, and then the little dump pass to her big for the easy two. We see it again on the left side of the floor. Fake, get inside. That is not an easy pass to make. Angel Reese says thank you. All right, so she's made a couple of these now. She goes in fake pass, and finished. 10 points, 3 assists in that first half. I was just so impressed with how she played.
LSU also with some late execution at the end of the first quarter. They executed in the full court. At the end of the second quarter, they executed in the half court. So let's talk about teams and Final Four projections, right? You saw LSU take on South Carolina. When you look at this LSU team as is right now, in terms of what have you done for me lately, would you say LSU is still a Final Four contender?
I believe more in LSU as a Final Four contender after that South Carolina game, even though it was a loss, than beforehand, because South Carolina is the cream of the crop. And for all of the game, except the last 4 minutes, LSU was not only with them, but they were beating them.
And so in terms of LSU, just to piggyback off of that, what's that next step for them after watching them Thursday?
Just getting a little bit more consistency, staying on the floor. Don't let Angel Reese get into foul trouble. Maybe get a little bit deeper in their bench.
Yeah, that could be huge. And we've got to stay, as terms of relevancy, in terms of Final Four contention. We're going to stay in the SEC. We'll take you around the country in just a second. But the #1 team in the nation and probably the biggest pick for winning the national championship is South Carolina.
Oh, without question, it's South Carolina. They're first in the country in offensive field goal percentage. They're first in defensive field goal percentage. They've got all of the weapons that you could need. Camila Cardoso dominates in the paint. Tahina Powell and Bree Hall hitting from the outside. Mylasia Fulwiley in the bench. All the ingredients.
All right, Rebecca, so that takes care of the SEC. We're going to go to some different conferences around the nation. Again, this is in terms of Final Four contenders, looking through the lens of what have you done for me lately, because that's all that matters. Let's start with the ACC.
Well, we can take a look at the ACC right now, and Louisville is leading the conference at 7-1, but they have a gauntlet coming up. They have Syracuse twice, they're at NC State, and they play Notre Dame. And if we're looking at this through recency bias, it's all about Notre Dame. They certainly look like a Final Four caliber team on Saturday when they beat UConn. Hannah Hidalgo has been an absolute beast for them. The freshman has been coming through time and time again, but she has the perfect complementary pieces around her. Maddie Westbeld was outstanding in the two-man game against UConn. Sonia Citron, outstanding as well.
Yeah, they certainly have a big three, and that fearless freshman, Hannah Hidalgo, so much fun to watch. I'm still going to take a look at NC State as being a Final Four contender. They have been so close the last few years. Sanaya Rivers is a pro, in my opinion. They have 6 players in double figures, so this balanced offense, I say 6. River Baldwin's averaging 9.7, so we're going to round up to 10. So 6 players in double figures, that balanced offense. They've got speed getting up and down the floor. I still think NC State has a lot to bring when it comes to what have you done for me lately and being a Final Four contender. All right, now we're going to take a look at our next conference. We're looking at, let's go with the Big 12.
The Big
When you look at the Big 12, what are you seeing here?
This is really interesting because Kansas State not only 9-0 in the conference, they've only lost once this year. They have upcoming games at Oklahoma and at Texas. The big thing with the Big 12 is big injuries, including to Kansas State. Ayoka Lee is injured. She had to have surgery on her foot. The last time K-State played Texas, she had 21-10. And then for Texas, they look like a national championship contender early in the season. Then their do-it-all guard, Rory Harmon, got hurt. Madison Booker, the freshman who has stepped up in a big way in Rory Harmon's absence, missed the last game nursing a hamstring injury.
Yeah, and Madison Booker, when we talk about these elite freshmen, that is such a big blow. We certainly hope that she is okay. Moving on, because we're just bouncing around the country. Let's go with the Big Ten, Rebecca.
Well, I'm going to throw this over to you for the Big Ten, Drea, because I know there's a team on here who you think looks really good recently.
Yeah, okay. I've got to start with Ohio State. My dad is actually an Ohio State fan, so this is going to make him extremely happy. But when it comes to Ohio State, it's not just my dad why I'm buying in on the Buckeyes. It is their team. They play an elite level of defense. They get up and down the floor. They force a ton of turnovers that I think will take teams outside of their conference, especially, a really long time to adjust to. Celeste Taylor, J.C. Sheldon, they've got veteran guards, and Cody McMahon is legit. She is so tough to stop. So I think Ohio State, offensively, defensively, they bring a lot.
Yeah, you especially focus on their defense. Well, I'm going to focus on Iowa's offense. They're first in points per game, first in effective field goal percentage, second in assists per game, first when it comes to shooting inside the arc, and of course, they have Caitlin Clark, and you don't ever want to bet against Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, you absolutely do not want to put money against Caitlin Clark. I feel like, Rebecca, we've talked to some teams that feel like they can stop Caitlin Clark. This is over the last couple years, and then they face Caitlin Clark, and they're like, oh, yeah, we didn't have that. We didn't have that plan right at all. Okay, so that's most of the Power 5, but if there's another team that we've got to look at, it's that Pac-12 conference. How elite has this conference been?
Oh, it's been incredible this year. And just in this past weekend, there were 4 teams. It's the Conference of Champions. It was the Conference of Upsets. 4 lower-ranked teams or unranked teams were able to beat some of the higher-ranked. But if it's what have you done for me lately? Yep. Stanford has won for me lately, and they have been playing great basketball. In particular, their bigs inside, Kiki Iriafen and Cameron Brink. On Friday, they combined for 47 points and 36 boards. Last night, Brink had 25 and 19, did not play the last quarter and a half. Kiki, 21 and 9.
Did you say 25 and 19 and didn't play the last quarter
and a half?
My goodness. Just to make sure everybody heard that. All right, speaking of, have you heard of what Oregon State is doing? They got 2 top 20 wins. When you talk about what have you done for me lately, the Beavers have been playing extremely well. I want to give Donovan Hunter a lot of credit. First 7 games in Pac-12, she was averaging less than 5 points per game. She's averaged 16.5 points per game in her last 2 conference games. So when you talk about players stepping up in conference play, she's been huge for them.
A quick thing to point out, UCLA, who's lost their last 2 of their last 3, their big girl inside, Lauren Betts, has missed the last 2 with an undisclosed injury or illness.
Yeah, so we certainly hope that UCLA and Lauren Betts is okay as far as getting into the Final Four. She is a huge piece for them. One team outside of the Power 5 you got to look for.
UConn, without question. They didn't look great against Notre Dame. They're still a Final Four contender.
Can't doubt Paige Buckets Beckers. We really do have so much talent across the nation. What have you done for me lately? That's the question. Those 2 getting it done for LSU lately. We'll be back for more.
Basketball both on and off the court. You're watching the SEC on ESPN, and we've got a close game inside the hump. LSU had to battle back. They trailed Mississippi State, but now they lead going into the third quarter by 5 as LSU team trying to bounce back after a loss to South Carolina on Thursday. Courtney Lyle and Carolyn Peck with you, and LSU able to get it done inside.
Well, there's some good news and some bad news for LSU, all right? The good news is they have 3 players that each have 10 points, and LSU has done a terrific job of being successful when they can get the ball in the paint. In doing so, that's where they have had the most success. Now, the bad news is that, yes, they're scoring when the ball gets inside in the paint, but they better make those shots because they're not getting any second chance opportunities. LSU only has 1 second chance point.
Yeah, and they average 16.5 second chance points per game. They did shoot 50% from the field in that first half, and they come out and get a quick bucket.
And Anissa Morrow flashing to that SEC logo. That is the soft spot in the zone. It's no secret. Everybody talks about that. That's got to be the area in that zone you got to protect.
When did Mississippi State have the most success on offense in the first half?
They had the most success on offense in that first quarter when they were patient with their offense. Unless it was a wide open jumper, they got deep into the shot clock.
Mississippi State shot 53% from the field in the first quarter. Go swing it over to Flau'jae Johnson. And Van Lith trying to go inside to Angel Reese. She's telling her, throw it up.
Well, Mississippi State is, it almost looks like a triangle and 2. But it's a 3-line defense, and then the 3 guards are interchangeable, playing like they're in a tandem. They're covering a lot of territory and keeping the bigs inside.
6 seconds. Williams recovered and got the 2.
Oh, wow. Because Poe got a hand on that first shot, but it came back to Williams.
Well, Mississippi State, you like them deeper in the shot clock in that first half?
Yeah, they're shooting almost 50% when they get under 20. Unless Jacayla Jordan has the ball.
Well, she's got a couple buckets already here in the third quarter.
Let the shooter shoot. Miracle Shepherd got the nod. Starting early with the defense she brought in the first half.
She had a full stat line in the first half. 8 points, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds. Aaron Barnum by herself on the block.
Shepherd has been key at the top of the defense, putting a lot of pressure, really hard for Van Lith to get the offense set.
Michaela Williams able to use the window.
She's going to get a delay of game warning. Williams is.
And going back to Miracle Shepherd, though, Mississippi State has plays called Yabba Dabba Doo plays, and Miracle Shepherd's had a ton in this game. The hustle.
This is a Yabba Dabba for sure.
Yabba Dabba, Peck.
What did I say?
Yabba Dabba.
Oh, Yabba Dabba. I got it because I'm trying not to say do because that wasn't part of it, but
No,
we
it's
might
part
as
of
well.
it. Yeah.
Yabba Dabba do.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. But when you beat your opponents down the floor in transition, you get an offensive rebound and a putback, you take a charge, that is a Yabba Dabba.
Last year, Poa picks up her second foul. First one up and in for Jacayla Jordan. Got 2.
Jordan Park Lane said that Mississippi State got together as a team and watched that LSU South Carolina game. They took a lot of notes, so they felt like they were prepared coming into tonight's game.
Yeah, all of Mississippi State's roster went over to Sam Purcell's house and they watched it together since they had a bye on Thursday. Williams will pull it back out with 6 seconds. Poa calling for it. It's a turnover forced by Miracle Shepherd. She's by herself. Poa's gonna push, and that's an offensive foul on last year Poa, her third.
That's a Yabba Dabba.
No doubt.
Ooh, that's courageous for Jessica Carter. Remember, she has 2 fouls, but she stepped over, absorbed the contact to draw that charge.
Tied at 46. Each team has led by as many as 8 tonight. Jacayla Jordan with the step back! Crushed it!
She left it up there for you, too, with the fall through.
State back on top. 10 points in the second half for Jacayla Jordan.
I think Jordan's offense and Miracle Shepherd's defense has been huge for Mississippi State.
Angel Reese going around Jessica Carter's got to be careful with those 2 fouls.
And that was a smart play defensively. She did the best she could on defense. Angel Reese, just a better offensive execution.
12 points, 9 boards for Reese.
All right, give it back to her. Give it to Carter on the block.
Back in the hands of Shepherd. Stolen away by Flauché. She's all alone.
Flau'jae Johnson's got to bring that quickness on the perimeter for LSU. That's what they're missing from last year. That's what Alexis Morris brought for the Tigers.
She's got a couple of steals here tonight. Jordan thought about the shot. Oh, Carter's shot won't drop in, but she'll go to the free throw line.
Ja'Kayla Jordan had that hesitation, but Flau'jae read this all the way for the steal, getting in the passing lanes quickly the other direction.
They called a second foul on Angel Reese. And they say it was before the shot, so no free throws coming for Jessica Carter. Ja'Kayla Jordan, the 9th time this season she has had 20 or more points.
Jordan's getting anything she wants. She's playing on balance. Getting into that mid-range middle pull-ups, that's been nice.
That's going to be the 3rd foul on Jessica Carter. And a 1-point ball game in the 3rd quarter. Ja'Kayla Jordan leading the way for Mississippi State with 21 points. Her head coach, Sam Purcell, loves it. And Coach Purcell's got a message about Pat Summitt when we come back to start.
My favorite Pat Summitt story is actually through my father-in-law, Joe Champy, who was fortunate to coach against her for 25 years in the SEC when he coached at Auburn. And he would always tell me what separated Pat from every other coach out there was her work ethic. They used to battle each other early, late in the 80s for national championships. And what coach does this? He was known for his matchup zone defense, and she would call him, invite him up to her house, try to pick his brain, because again, that's who Pat was. She wanted to be the best. She didn't just talk about it. She worked hard behind the scenes. Whatever her weaknesses were, she was always determined to make her strengths. And that's why she is the legend who she was. We miss you, Pat. We love you, Pat.
Caroline, I know you were on staff when Joe Champy and Coach Summitt were battling back in the SEC.
Yeah, Pat had so many great friends in the league. They were fierce competitors, but like Sam said, when you did something that Pat saw was effective, she had no qualms about, hey, picking your brain and saying, hey, can you show me how you do that? And Joe Champy was very gracious in sharing his information with Pat. But then on the return, Pat was as gracious when people wanted to know what Tennessee did. She was not afraid to share that as well. I mean, that's who Pat Summitt definitely was.
Angel Reese with the bucket there, and it's so fun on We Back Pat Week to hear these stories of Coach Summitt, how she impacted the game, how she impacted people, but also how she has impacted and still does the fight against Alzheimer's disease. That's what the Pat Summitt Foundation is working to eliminate, so nobody has to fight this disease again. And this year, the Pat Summitt Foundation presenting Pat's game plan, specifically for caregivers. Back the other way for Mississippi State in the bucket for Jessica Carter.
Impact player of the game. Yeah, Ja'Kayla Jordan is scoring buckets, but Miracle Shepherd has been huge for the Bulldogs.
She's filling up the stat sheet, but it's also the things that don't show up on the stat sheet that Miracle Shepherd is doing. The hustle plays, the defense. Tied back at 53. Darian Rogers, 7 seconds. Now she's stuck. Just threw it up. All right. Let's see what happens.
I don't think that she just threw it up. That's similar to the shot I saw in the first half.
That's a tote bag. It's not a clutch. That's the third on Angel Reese.
Defense leading the offense. Who got their hand on it? Miracle Shepherd, and then hitting Jessica Carter, running in transition. That's a yabba dabba. And then Darian Rogers knocking down the three. And then battling inside with Jessica Carter. Woo, we've had us a ball game tonight.
She knew it, held the follow through. And Kim Mulkey has to call timeout. Mississippi State has outscored LSU 23-13 in the third quarter. State on a 7-0 run as we stepped
out. Was thinking, how can he get his team excited? Well, he said he's going to have some yabba dabba do plays. And how do you get those? Well, hustle, beating your team down the floor in transition. It's about getting an offensive putback. It's about taking a charge. And the Bulldogs of Mississippi State have had quite a few yabba dabba moments tonight.
It's something he thought of watching cartoons with his three little girls. Reese, Riley, and Reagan. He said, we need that kind of Fred Flintstone energy. And at first his team looked at him like he was crazy, but they bought into it.
Well, it's something that they're going to remember.
Never forget it.
Look, sometimes when I'm driving, I have a yabba dabba moment.
I know, I've been the passenger.
Miracle Shepherd has been everywhere. I'm loving the tenacity 1-4 in white is bringing for her team tonight.
From Washington State, played high school basketball in Florida, won a national championship in 2022 as a high school student. Anissa Morrow pushing away from Aaron Barnum, short on the shot.
Game management. The problem Mississippi State had in the first half, at times they were turning the ball over. If they can take care of the basketball, they may be able to pull off one here at home.
Yeah, half of their turnovers came in the first quarter. Granira Montague.
That's another freshman from Mississippi State.
9-0 run for State.
Now it's Mississippi State that's going to attack the rim. Montague posting up on Del Rosario and gets the finish. Look, your senior appreciating the work of the freshman.
Are you still a senior in your 6th year? You're a super senior?
Super senior. You're a senior plus. Yeah. Now, can LSU execute and find their way back? That's a big duck in by Morrow, but she couldn't finish.
Reese got the rebound. She was fouled. That's on Miracle Shepherd, her second. So now Angel Reese goes to the free throw line. Drops in the first. Well, we got a women's basketball triple header for you on Sunday on ESPN2. Number 19 Virginia Tech taking on North Carolina, and then number 1 South Carolina hosting Ole Miss, who beat Tennessee yesterday. We'll cap the afternoon with UCLA and Stanford.
I tell you, the ACC has been a roller coaster. Virginia knocks off North Carolina. Duke knocked off Florida State.
Then look at the West Coast. UCLA losing.
Oregon State winning. They beat Colorado.
All kinds of craziness.
It's up in the air.
Anisamaro with the takeaway. Got her own rebound. And Michaela Williams corrals it. Van Lith.
That's a battle inside.
It's on Darian Rogers, her first.
Jessica Carter, fortunate not to be called for one there. But the extra effort, the second bounce of Angel Reese is hard to stop.
They call this not a shooting foul on Angel Reese. Interesting. I thought she was in the act of shooting.
I thought she was in the act of shooting too.
So did Kim Mulkey. Morrow a little too much behind it. Debrisha Poe. Mississippi State extends the lead. And then Lauren Park Lane fouls Haley Van Lith.
You just see the confidence continue to build from Mississippi State. Just swing the ball over. Darian Rogers already put up the three-point sign before Poe pulled the trigger, and Sam Purcell is loving it.
Haley Van Lith at the free throw line. LSU has hit one of its last 11 field goal attempts. Meanwhile, Mississippi State 6 for 6.
Anisamaro 5 for 14 and Angel Reese 6 for 15, and most of their shots have been taken in the paint.
Heat check for Poe. LSU can take the last shot of the quarter. They have not scored. No field goals in the last 4 minutes. Kim Mulkey urging Van Lith to go. 5 seconds. Van Lith fires, bounces out. First time tonight at the end of the quarter that LSU did not get points off their last play. But the third quarter, going Mississippi State's way. They outscore LSU in the third period, 28-17. The last 10 minutes, you better buckle up. Well, Sam Purcell told his team to come out and play loose. He's had all kinds of emotions over on the sideline tonight as his team is up with 10 minutes to go on the number 9 team in the nation. And not only is this an important game for Mississippi State, it could be a signature win for Sam Purcell, but he's got a little wager with his daughters. Every year he lets them pick one game. Reese, Riley, and Reagan get to pick a game where something's on the line. Last year, if they beat Tennessee, the girls got a trampoline. They did that. This year, the girls have upped the ante. A win tonight. They get a pool.
I hope it's the bottom one and not the blow-up one on top.
I think so, too. So Kayla Jordan's going to help them out.
Sam Purcell said if they pull this off now, he's probably going to be begging for some donations to get that pool put in at his house.
How have they done it? How are they up on LSU right now?
They're playing with a lot of confidence in their defense. I cannot say enough about Miracle Shepherd and what she's brought on the floor, but the composure that Mississippi State has played with has been huge.
Mississippi State outscored LSU 28-17 in the third quarter. Flau'jae Johnson up and in.
The other thing is they have not allowed LSU to really get to their bread and butter, which is second chance points. They only have 5 of those so far.
A team that averages 16.5 per game. Mississippi State seeking its first top 10 win since 2018. And transition points for LSU.
That's how LSU can get back into this ball game. It was a problem for Mississippi State in that first quarter.
Miracle Shepherd falls to the floor, gives it up to Poe. Eight seconds. Chandler pulls it back out. Angel Reese leading LSU right now, 17 points, 14 rebounds. Miracle Shepherd does not stop.
If you get past December, you're no longer a freshman, and Miracle Shepherd is playing like an upperclassman right now.
6 steals for Miracle, 1 away from tying her career high, and Rogers takes it away. 17 turnovers for LSU. Mississippi State has gotten 20 points off of those turnovers. 9 of them coming in the second half, talking about LSU's turnovers.
And what Mississippi State has to do, they got to play to win. You can't play too careful.
What does that look like?
You've got to move the basketball.
They're going to check that, but they count it for now. And a travel on Morrow.
And for LSU, they're going a lot to Anissa Morrow. I think they got to play through Angel Reese. I think LSU's got to go to their All-American.
She's got 17 and 15. Her 12th double-double of the season. Rogers for 3. Shake and bake.
I asked Sam Purcell, what did you like about Darren Rogers? She said she can flat out score the basketball.
Rogers with 13. She's hit 3 3-pointers.
You can tell Rogers wanted this bucket from before the ball came into her hands. Little shake, bake, and cooked them.
And Sam Purcell's family loving it. Feeling that pool in their future.
I think they're already getting their water wings on.
There's a lot of time left, though. LSU can cook. It's going to stay with the Tigers here.
Yeah, LSU needs to score on this possession. And I think get the ball to number 10, Angel Reese. You got to get it to her.
She's asking for it. Anissa Morrow, it rattles around. Reese with the offensive rebound. LSU gets it back, 14 seconds on the shot clock.
Again, Reese is posting up. So you got to look, as soon as you catch the ball, look in before the help can get there.
Taken away by Jacqueline Jordan. And Michaela Williams with the hustle to get back on defense and stop it.
Michaela Williams doesn't give up on the play.
7-0 run for Mississippi State.
Let's see, LSU, they're not putting a lot of pressure on the ball. Mississippi State's got to take care of it.
Reese to Anissa Morrow in the baseline. Over a 3-minute scoring drought for the LSU Tigers.
Morrow is 5 of 16 from the floor. That's good, Jordan, just to be patient.
4 seconds. Jessica Carter. Reese snuck ahead, but the pass overthrown. That's 5 turnovers in the last 4 minutes for LSU. And Mississippi State up 11 with 5 minutes to go. Sam Purcell looking for a signature win, and so is his family. So during the break, they went back and looked at the Jessica Carter shot that was right before the shot clock. They ruled that it was a shot clock violation, so they've taken 2 points off of the board. The ball's still in her hand when the shot clock goes off, so that's why our score is now 70-61. Mississippi State up here with 5 minutes to go. Sam Purcell looking for his first top 25 win at Mississippi State. And he's got a sold-out crowd to do it in front of, but there's still a lot of time left.
Well, you know, if you're LSU, every team is going to give you their best shot. And Mississippi State has brought it tonight. How do the reigning national champions, the LSU Tigers, handle it?
Shepard gets it across the timeline. How do you handle this if you're Mississippi State with the lead here and still 4:45 to go?
Well, you just got to make sure that you are very intentional with your passes. You cannot turn the ball over. You're almost better off if you don't get a shot, getting a shot clock violation, and at least you get your defense set.
LSU has not scored since the 8:53 mark in this quarter. Michaela Williams in the corner. We were talking in the break, it seems like they're trying to run things through Anissa Morrow more than Angel Reese.
Yeah, they've got Angel Reese at the high post, Morrow down low.
Flagey hits and the pressure continues by LSU. Stays with Mississippi State. And Miracle Shepard favoring that left leg a little bit.
Looked like she just fell on it kind of funny, but the way she's played, she's not coming out of this game.
Impacted the game on both ends of the floor. But she's limping on the court right now, number 14 in white.
For Mississippi State, ball screen action. Make 2 guard 1. That'll open up a passer to receive the basketball.
Rogers deep. Reese going inside tomorrow, a little high-low.
Well, because when Reese was on the block, there was a double team that was coming. More of an isolation, one-on-one with Morrow. She connected on that one. She's had some trouble finishing in the paint.
Mississippi State is going to call timeout here. We step aside, but only for 30 seconds. State on top of number 9 LSU by 5. Well, Sunday over on the SEC Network, we'll have a women's basketball triple header. We're featuring the middle game. It's highlighted by these LSU Tigers. They'll be hosting Florida at the PMAC. Begins at 2 Eastern, 1 Central. Again, that's on the SEC Network on Sunday.
LSU brings the fans out, the sellout crowd here at the Hump.
Right now having to fight from behind. Angel Reese got it back, but looks to be in pain. I think she took a hit to the rib.
There was a collision. I couldn't really tell, but she seems to be okay.
May have got the wind knocked out of her for a second.
Now, how will LSU execute down the stretch?
Mississippi State ball. They said LSU touched it last. They were looking inside tomorrow.
Now, Mississippi State has got to handle this full court pressure. Yeah, that's off Anissa Morrow. You just don't want to get caught in the corner.
And they call a timeout as they can't get the ball, and Mississippi State will have one timeout left.
That could be crucial. Now, with only having one left, LSU, they've got 3. And Mississippi State has had a problem bringing the ball or breaking that press. That's when they have turned the ball over. So now when you only have one timeout left, that puts more pressure on the inbounder and your guards in the backcourt to be able to get across this half-court timeline.
It'd be nice to keep that timeout in your back pocket. If it gets under a minute in this game and you need to take it out and advance the basketball, you can use that timeout. Interesting the fouls to give, though, with under 3 minutes to play. LSU has 4 to give. Mississippi State has 3 to give. That could be a big factor in a close game.
Well, right now with Mississippi State in the lead, I mean, Kim Mulkey for LSU has to look at that, because if that gets down to crunch time and you're wanting to put Mississippi State at the foul line, you still got to foul 3 more times before that happens.
Mississippi State has only attempted 5 free throws today. Foul is on Michaela Williams. That's the second.
LSU using those fouls, as they know if this game is tied at the end, it can become a free throw shooting situation.
Mississippi State still struggling with the pressure. They do get it across.
But now that they've broken it, now composure. It's a 2-possession game, so LSU, they just need to try to get a stop right now, then score at the other end.
4 seconds. Dracayla Jordan shut down by Angel Reese. Jump ball, possession arrow to LSU. And Mississippi State has now not scored in 4.5 minutes.
Good defensive play there. Angel Reese kept her eye on the basketball, 2 hands on it to get the jump ball call.
Reese going after Jessica Carter.
That's what I'm saying. Right now,
yes,
on the home stretch, you got to play through number 10 in purple, Angel Reese.
19 points, 16 boards, Angel Reese. 2 minutes to go. LSU on a 6-0 run. Mississippi State has not scored since the 6:46 mark here in the 4th quarter.
Now you have the threat of Poe and Rogers, along with Jessica Carter inside. Oh, quick hands by Flajay Johnson.
No, that's Anissa Morrow.
Oh, Anissa Morrow it is.
Jump ball, possession arrow, Mississippi State as Poa ties it up.
It was a quick pick like Flajay Johnson,
yeah,
but it was Morrow.
Give credit.
You got you, I got you. Morrow has just had a hard time finishing her layups tonight.
She's 6 for 18 from the field.
You don't want to be in that corner. That's a good job. Get out of there quick. And Sam Purcell's even coaching the crowd, telling them to settle down.
5.5-minute scoring drought for Mississippi State. Rogers goes swish. And Michaela Williams airball.
Darian Rogers, her mom and daddy are in town. He's showing out for the folks, her people. And Sam Purcell struck a pose. He's loving it.
Darian Rogers is at 4 threes. There's going to be a foul before that shot.
I think Darian Rogers had a little extra motivation playing against a former teammate of hers from DePaul. She has been locked and loaded. 6 of 9 from the floor, 4 of 7 from the three-point line.
Last 4 games coming in, Rogers was 0 for 8.
But it's still a 2-possession game. LSU chose the foul. They still have another one to give.
LSU 3 timeouts, Mississippi State with 1. Angel Reese almost took that away. And there's the last one for LSU to give. So next foul will put Mississippi State at the free throw line.
Mississippi State is a pretty good free throw shooting team. As a team, they shoot about 72%.
That's the 4th on Flau'jae Johnson, and that should put Mississippi State at the free throw line.
See now, for LSU, do they really want to foul Jessica Carter, who shoots 62%? Miracle Shepherd, she's a 60% shooter from the free throw line.
This is the first. LSU can call timeout here and advance the ball. Kim Mulkey will do that. 46.4 showing on the clock.
Now, one of her best three-point shooters, Michaela Williams, is not in the game, the freshman. I don't think Kim Mulkey was happy with that last three-point shot that she took.
She's 0 for 2 tonight from deep.
Now, LSU can go for a quick 2 when I go to Angel Reese inside, because more times than not, Angel Reese is going to get the bucket and probably get her a trip to the free throw line. If that shot's not there, then you have that three-point option, Flau'jae Johnson or Haley Van Lith.
But how quickly do they have to do that?
They've got to go quick. They've got to go the first available shot that's there. They cannot use a lot of the shot clock in this situation right now. Now, on the other side, Mississippi State still has 3 fouls to give. So they could foul LSU. They just want to make sure that they are not fouling when LSU is in the act of shooting.
Possession arrow is pointing LSU's way. Again, they took that timeout to advance the basketball to be right next to LSU's bench.
You got to compliment how prepared Sam Purcell has had his team for today. Even runs that LSU made, they didn't get rattled. They still maintain their composure. And he told us this morning he just wanted his team to embrace the moment and enjoy it, have fun. And they look to have done that.
So Poa will inbound. They go straight to Angel Reese. Back over to Haley Van Lith, who puts up a quick three and misses, but Angel Reese is there. Gets fouled, and she will have free throws coming. That foul on Darian Rogers. Her second.
I like the play of going inside to Angel Reese because she knew the defense was going to attract to her. And then the kick out to Haley Van Lith.
Angel Reese is a 74% free throw shooter. She makes more free throws per game than anyone in the nation. 5 of 6 tonight. Misses the first.
It's still a 2-possession game.
And now Sam Purcell will call timeout. He can advance the ball. This is Mississippi State's final timeout. How quickly does LSU have to foul?
They got to foul right away. I think they've got to foul, especially when you have Miracle Shepherd missed one of her free throws. Jessica Carter, not a strong free throw shooter. And you try to lengthen this game as much as possible. But the most important thing right now Sam Purcell's got to talk about is getting the ball in bounds and who he wants to get the ball to. You know, they practiced it earlier at shoot-around today and had Rogers was taking it out. She didn't have a lot of confidence in the play of how far she needed to throw it. So I would say she might not be the one that's inbounding the basketball. So you want to get the ball, if you can, to Jordan. That's your best three-point shooter. So you've got to run your offense to get the ball into her, and she can secure it.
Jerkayla Jordan with 23 points, 3 for 3 from 3 tonight.
You also have Debrisha Poe. That's also a good option.
So Rogers will be inbounding.
Now Rogers inbounding the basketball. They had a long conversation of whether or not she can make certain passes. She was real honest with her coach. You got to have that kind of communication.
Again, Mississippi State does not have a timeout. They have to get this ball in. And LSU has brought the pressure. They do. They get it to Jerkayla Jordan.
That's who you want to have the ball.
And LSU's got a foul, and Issa Morrow does.
Yeah, Jordan, an 80% free throw shooter.
2 for 2 tonight for Jerkayla Jordan. 9th time this season she's had 20 or more points in a game.
I want to make LSU wants a timeout.
So Kim Mulkey uses her second to last timeout. She can advance the ball once again. 37.3 seconds left. Want to remind you, Texas-Baylor coming up on Thursday. You can see that game on ESPN. That's our next big game for women's basketball. But right now, 37.3 seconds, 74-68. What's LSU thinking here?
LSU is thinking again. Quick score. They can get the ball inside to Angel Reese. She could possibly get a three-point play. Now, the last possession, they drew it up for the ball to go to inside and then to Haley Van Lith. She put Flau'jae Johnson back in the game as well. She's hit a three tonight, so she could be an option from the three-point line also.
Van Lith will inbound. Van Lith for 3.
Big rebound by Williams.
Up and in. And LSU calls its final timeout.
Now, Kim Milton calling a timeout. You want to get your defense set. And I think you want to get the defense set because you want to be specific on who you fouled and try to put at the free throw line for Mississippi State.
Well, for Mississippi State, Jerkayla Jordan has been the do-it-all player today. 24 points, her 9th time with 20 or more points in a game.
She's perfect from the three-point line, but she's done a little bit of everything for Mississippi State. She said she was focused. She said she had taken notes on her scouting report, and she talked about that LSU had to worry about them, and she has demonstrated just why tonight.
So Michaela Williams quickly fouls Darian Rogers. She's an 86% free throw shooter. 24.3 on the clock.
And Rogers has had herself a night tonight. 4 of the 8 from 3.
First trip to the free throw line for Rogers this evening. Again, LSU does not have a timeout, so they will have to go the length of the floor.
Now LSU did a nice job into the first, into the second quarter in their executions. So now what do they have in their bag to come quick? The final 24 seconds.
Rogers gets them both. Back to a 6-point lead. And Miracle Shepard fouls Haley Van Lith.
Well, because Mississippi State's got fouls to give. Now, I think that Miracle Shepard probably fouled a little bit too early in the clock. Mississippi State still has another foul to give.
Sam Purcell looking for his first top 25 win at Mississippi State, and as a head coach, they have not beaten a top 10 team since 2018. Michaela Williams, they needed it desperately, her first 3 tonight, and LSU's got a foul right now. 15 seconds on the clock.
Don't go anywhere yet.
Woo! Monster bucket.
Oh, Michaela Williams just ice cold off the ball screen. Pure from the top of the key.
Darian Rogers back to the free throw line. Misses the first.
So now LSU make or miss, get it on the push. All right, now I'd say drive it hard, then looking for a shooter.
4-point game. Michaela Williams, short on the 3. And Mississippi State, yabba dabba do, right to a top 25 win. The Bulldogs' first win over a top 10 team since 2018 and a signature win for Sam Purcell.
You have to compliment the group effort, the confidence this team came on the floor with. They battled on the boards. They kept LSU from getting to their bread and butter, their second chance points, only 10 today. They had Jerkayla Jordan, and can we talk about the freshman in Miracle Shepard and her defensive presence that she brought for the Bulldogs tonight?
Hustle plays, playing free. Mississippi State did everything Sam Purcell asked of them tonight, and they took down a top 10 team.
They had yabba dabba do moments, and you know what else And some ooh-wee moments. Sam Purcell loves those.
Mississippi State takes down LSU 77-73. We're joined now by Mississippi State head coach Sam Purcell. How did you beat LSU?
First of all, this crowd, I mean, unbelievable. Our first sellout. And most importantly, we have a fan base that believes, but most importantly, I got a team that believes. I'm lost for words. What a night.
How did you prepare Jacayla Jordan to have the night that she had tonight?
Hey, I don't have to say anything. She came to me. It started with a tweet. She was like, you know what? I live for this moment. All right? I want this moment. Our fans were like, why not us? That was our slogan this year. She's a vet. She was poised. I told her in the third quarter, I'm going to rest you, because in the fourth quarter, we're going to ride your coattails. All right? And boy, what a night did she have.
We saw Miracle Shepherd do so many things for you. Where did she impact this game the most?
Everywhere. All right? I told y'all she is a miracle. She's my miracle. All right? Her effort, her hustle, her determination, it's a lifestyle for that kid. I'm the luckiest coach in the world to be able to coach her, and I'm so proud of her to have a night like tonight.
Sam, you got 3 little girls at home that you owe a swimming pool to.
I do. I'm going to start asking for donations from the Bulldog family right now. All right? But I'll tell you one thing. I'm celebrating tonight. Okay? And most importantly, my team is. I asked for a dream when I took this job. Give me a chance. These young women to give me a chance. Let's sell this out, and let's make a special environment. And this is everything I dreamed about tonight.
A signature win, Sam. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Hell State.
Mississippi State getting it done. At home, a sellout crowd on hand to watch it as they take down the number 9 team in the nation. 77-73. Mississippi State on top.